Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome to episode 100 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
You're so good.
I
know, yeah. Actually, yeah, should edit in a fanfare, really, shouldn't
I? Should have poppers and balloons.
None of that, but it's really epic.
Congratulations.
To you too.
High five to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
To have got all this way to episode 100.
Yeah.
An achievement, I think, because we do joke, but sometimes I don't think people realise how hard it is to do it every week, and we haven't had a break either. In them 100 episodes, it has literally been every week.
Especially when you're working full time, you work shifts.
Yeah, and I'm quite proud of the fact that we've done every single week. We've always come up with something, like we've been ill or whatever, and we've still managed to get an episode out because the show must go on, mustn't it? So no,
there's no business like.
I'm really.
I stopped them because of copywriting thingies.
I'm proud of us to have got to this. I think it
is a big achievement.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So Ryan, what is coming on our 100th episode bonanza today?
Okay, yes. So we're going to have a little look back at some of the stats from our 100 episodes.
They are pretty impressive, to be fair.
They are. We've got a few guests coming on as well. People that are important to us in the show, I would say. People. Yeah. Well, but you'll see. You'll see who's coming up on the show. We're going to have a look at episode 6 of Welcome to Wrexham. We're going to have a look at another one of our opponents for next season. We've got a special 100th episode quiz for you as well.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people wanted us to turn the tables and Siân to quiz me. Two things with that one.
I didn't know.
One, Siân's rubbish at writing quiz questions, aren't you? Pretty poor. So we've tried it once before.
I do easy one, like, what's the capacity of the race course?
Yeah, and we've tried it once before in an episode.
It doesn't work.
No, Siân asked me one question that literally did not make sense. So yeah, we've sort of skimmed over that. Maybe in the future, but it's certainly not today. That's not going to happen anyway. Just a quick one. If you would like to support the show, then you can visit our Buy Me a Coffee page, which is buymeacoffee.com/me the wife. So we'd be very grateful to anybody who does that.
There is actually a new feature on Buy Me a Coffee, and we can send personal videos. If you obviously buy us a coffee, we can send you a personal video to say thank you. So if you really want that, just, head over there and buy us a coffee.
If that's your thing. I can't imagine why it would be anyone's
these
thing.
Two old celebrities over here.
Yeah, but there we go.
Whatever.
If that is your thing, then look, Saturday just gone. We decided to spend a day sort of enjoying where we live for a change, enjoying Wrexham a little bit, because let's be completely honest about it, we probably don't do it enough.
The only time we go into Wrexham really is to go to the football.
Exactly.
Because we don't have we have our shopping delivered, so we
don't
go to the supermarket.
Yeah, I know. So we sort of felt in the off season it was a good opportunity to go and enjoy the place where we actually live.
And we actually did. It was nice.
It was really good. We had lunch at the Wing King.
Amazing.
Oh, beautiful. Actually, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We went to the Queen Square Market.
Yeah.
We picked up some pies for our tea later on.
From the Pied Piper. I love that.
From the Pied Piper. We went to House of Retro. Our son is a bit of a gamer. And a bit of a geek. Like his dad. and there's a shop called House of Retro, and they do like loads of old games consoles and stuff like that. So my son was fascinated with that, so we went to have a look at that. We had a little chat with Neil Roberts.
We did.
Ex-Wrexham player Neil Roberts outside his bar, Vault 33.
It looks absolutely... We didn't go in, unfortunately, because we had Alfie, and I'm not sure...
it would have been fine,
It would have been... I know, it would have been fine, but yeah, we'd rather go on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know where I was going then. I got all distracted. It looks absolutely lush. Like the outside.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
It looks so upmarket.
Yeah. And
Neil has done a superb job. So, well done.
He has. And do you know what? Just on a personal note, for me, it's sort of like... We sort of stood outside the bar. We had a chat with him for a bit, and we're talking about the bar, talking about the podcast, all that sort of stuff. And for me personally, to be able, this podcast has allowed us to make friends with a lot of people, people that we weren't even aware of before we started the show, but people that I obviously was aware of before the show started, like Neil, someone that I idolised as a player and used to go and watch as a player, to now he
shouted us from over the street, didn't he?
Yeah, for them to recognise us and to call us over and to have a conversation with people like that, for me, that's something that this podcast has definitely done. I think with
Neil, though, he's so down to earth. He's not like one of these prima donna ex-footballers. Oh, look at me. No. He's a Wrexham lad. He's one of the nice guys, I think.
He is. So, he is, definitely. Well, we went to T-Pub, and there's... Really, it's a slight apology, I suppose. We should have talked about this on last week's episode, but we thought we had more time. So there is a festival ongoing, which is called a Walgoch Festival, which is the Red Wall Festival, which is the Red Wall is sort of like the Wales supporters. That's what it's called, the Red Wall.
If you're watching a Wales game or something, they say that a look at the Red Wall.
The Red Wall, crowd, yeah. So there's a festival ongoing in Wrexham, which is about sort of Welsh football in general, live music, all that sort of stuff. As I say, we should really have talked about it last week, because I think by the time this 100th episode comes out, it's pretty much at its end.
I think it ended on Sunday.
The Monday, I think. I think there's a couple of bits. Yeah, so unfortunate about that. But we had a message from... an Icelandic filmmaker
who just so happened to be in Denmark at the time.
I know, after we talked about Denmark. His name was Smari Gunn.
Smari, yeah.
Sorry if I've got that wrong. He's made a documentary called The Home Game, and that was being showcased at a Walgoch festival. I've watched the trailer for it. It looks really interesting. He did say it's won quite a few awards. It's obviously Icelandic with English subtitles, if that's your sort of thing. He said people have said that it's got a similar feel to Welcome to Wrexham. Just in the trailer that I watched, I would sort of agree with that. Because it does have that sort of feel. It's got a really interesting story around it as well. I won't ruin it. It's called The Home Game. Go and have a look. Go and find that. It does have a really interesting story and sort of like slightly comic sort of element to the story as well, with the main sort of premise of the documentary. So I would highly recommend going to check that out.
So should we talk about our 100 episodes in numbers?
Yeah, go for it.
So for a few months now, I've been keeping track of track stats.
Yeah.
Don't know why I did that.
No.
So obviously it's the 100th episode. We have been listened to, in 93 countries. How many countries are there? 96, is it?
No, 197, I think.
Damn.
So, yeah, roughly.
Wishful thinking.
But, we've been listened to in more than half the countries in the world. No, just under half the countries in the world. So
which is amazing.
Yes.
We have been listened to in 3.5, nearly 3.7 thousand cities around the world, which again is amazing. We've had 54,000 audio streams downloads.
Yeah.
187,000 YouTube views.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That is a lot. That is a lot. And in total, so, you know, quick maths and everything, we've had 241,000 views over the
streams.
So
that's
on
audio
YouTube,
and video combined.
Which is astonishing. And that was up until, I think, Saturday, I think it was.
Saturday last week, Friday or Saturday last week.
So those
that was
figures
up to,
might be higher
might have doubled
now.
by now.
I doubt they've doubled, but yeah.
That is fascinating.
It is fascinating.
I do. A total of, I had a little look at a couple of stats.
Just checking my stats.
No, not checking. I just wanted to just see if there was anything else to sort of throw out there. We on YouTube. Our videos have been watched a total of 16,669 hours. Now, just to put that into context, that amount of hours equates to 694 days.
What?
Yeah, I know. We've been the top 10 in 15 countries in the Apple podcast charts. But I think the most important thing of all of it is that we've made some, like I sort of said before, we've made some really good friends out of it. You know, friends that
I like this segue.
That we sort of that we talk to a lot.
Yeah. Friends
that perhaps we don't talk to that much, but who will talk to us if they see us in the street. People that we've never met, that we would consider as friends, who maybe just email us. We've got
friends of the show.
Yeah, friends in Austria, Australia,
Montana.
Billings
and Bozeman.
Yes, all over America, really. Canada, you know, South America. It's just, for me, not reading from notes or anything. I think it's been so nice that we have just made all these new friends, and I love it.
By doing this?
Just by doing this, and I love it.
You're getting a little bit emotional.
No, I don't think so.
Damn.
No.
Cry, Ryan, cry.
No, but it is.
No, it is lovely.
It is
We've
really
got
nice.
some, we have got some really good friends, and it's quite humbling, really.
It is. It is.
We get people emailing us all the time, kind of like the same people, and even though we may not necessarily have met, we feel like, we know them. We talked about this on another podcast where we'll be driving. We've met a lot of people in the turf over our sort of time. Yeah.
And we talked about this where we'll be driving to the turf to meet somebody new who's come over to visit Wrexham from wherever it is in the world. And we sort of turn to each other and we sort of go, do you know what they look like? And one or the other of us will go, no, I haven't got a clue. So that's so weird that we but we do meet so many people. That's only if they email us. If they usually if they've emailed us, we feel like we know them.
Yeah.
And we're just walking in completely blind to meet people, but we love it. So anyone comes over, please feel free to drop us a message, and if we can, we'll always come and say hello whenever we can. And I think that was the perfect transition. I've had up 100 episodes to do this. I'm not. It's not my first day. Always professional. So our first guests for the 100th episode are two of our friends who have also got a podcast. Yes. They are from Down Under. Yes. One of them was born in Coventry. Yes. Do we know who they are? I'm building them up. Yeah, I know. Right, let's introduce Two Beards. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Great.
It's going good. It's good. I feel better than I thought I would with no football at all.
I'm bored as hell.
Yeah, it's a little bit. But how do you guys feel off season? What's the off season like for you guys?
Bit different. I think it's a very odd time of year. It's like, it's one of those ones where we're happy that we got to experience another promotion, and, it's nice to look back on it. But I think just the fact we're in League One now, we just can't stop counting down the days now. So that's probably my biggest thing. I don't know about you, Rousey. What about you?
Well, I mean, we've got the AFL season actually in mid-flight at the moment over here. So there's that which kind of, sees things through. And I guess it kind of helps having the Welcome to Wrexham documentary releasing weekly as well. So we get our slight little Wrexham fix, but I'm missing the games. I need to watch these games, and yeah.
I know it's rough. It is rough. Rousey, I'll come to you first, because about a year ago, you were on. Well, both of you were on, not just you, and you were talking about that we were going to go back to back. And everyone was going, what's he talking about? Come on. We just need to, if we get in the playoffs, everyone will be happy with that. But you were resolute. We are going back to back. And as it transpires, you were 100% correct. So, Nostradamus, what is going to happen next season? What can you foresee is going to happen to us in League One next year?
Well, sorry to burst your bubble there, but I actually said back-to-back as champions, but came so incredibly close. And I actually, for one stage, I thought that we were going to take it down to the final game of the season against Stockport. I mean, how magical would that have been? You can't write that. But if I'm going to give my prediction again,
but I predicted it, so like.
Yeah, he predicted that we'll be in the top three. So, but I'm going to say we'll go back to back again. I reckon we're going to go second, at very least playoffs.
You heard it here first, peeps.
Yeah.
The Rouse man has spoken.
What about you, Adrian? What are you thinking?
Nah. Nah. I'm so pessimistic, and it's not because I just like to be pragmatic, but I'm probably going with like the last spot in the playoffs. I really think we have the potential to be a playoff side, and we could probably do some damage in there as well, because we won't have anything to lose. I think the difference between the last couple of years has been us being the hunted, and I feel like this year, having the big clubs around us in League One, I'm not saying that people won't go after us, but there are also other big clubs alongside us that we need to understand are probably going for the same prize, if not obviously wanting to get back in the Premier League. Huddersfield, Birmingham, trying to think of more, but I think it'll be that last spot in the playoffs. I don't know about you guys. What have you guys predicted so far?
Oh, we haven't yet, have
nothing.
We?
And do you know what? Because I just don't know. I think we could genuinely put a bit of a push together. I do, but I would be.
I do.
I do, but I feel like I'd be happy mid-table.
Yeah.
But I know I wouldn't be. I'm saying I'd be happy mid-table, but I don't think I would be happy with that, because I feel like that spoilt kid now. I do genuinely feel like that spoilt kid we've had 2 really good National League seasons. We've had a really good League 2 campaign. And to sort of now take your foot off the gas and go, I'm not bothered. Mid-table will do me just fine. It won't really. I don't think.
I don't think you'd be disappointed at the end of the season. I think
I think I would.
It depends. No, I think it depends. Yeah, probably. It depends on how... Because I don't think anyone expected Wrexham to do as well as they did so quickly. Yes, we had a really bad start to the season.
Yeah.
But we kind of picked up momentum quite quickly. And then we were like second, third, second, fourth, second, third.
Yeah.
It was like that. And I think if we'd gone down to the playoffs, I think people would have been disappointed because we were so close.
Yeah.
But I think if we kind of stay mid-table quite consistently, then I think people will be like, okay, yeah, we've done well. We're mid-table. You
can tell you're a new Wrexham fan. I can guarantee you that is not what Wrexham fans are going to be thinking when we're mid-table. They're going, right, where's this push for the playoffs now? Why aren't we in the top 3? Boo them off at half-time. Just wait for it.
Well, just think about this. Think about this, right? The first season of the documentary finished National League in second, and then we went up with first, and then first season of League 2, we finished second. So by that logic, we should be finishing League One in first.
Yes, I like that logic. Let's go with that logic.
Chris, are you saying when you said we're going to go again? Are you predicting going again as champions, or are you just going with being promoted?
I'm going with just being promoted. I think we're going to get promoted again.
All right, I'll take that.
I like that logic. I mean,
I'll have what he's smoking.
I'd like the logic even more if he said League One champions getting promoted. But
Championship.
I'll be happy. I'll be happy with the promotion. But I think. As a new fan,
I think expectation grows really quickly.
Yeah,
is my
of course
point.
It does.
And knowing Wrexham fans, as soon as they string 2 wins together back to back,
we're going.
That's it. We're going up. That is it. And anything below, honestly, it'll grow so quickly. And if you all of a sudden you win 3 in a row, or you go undefeated for 5 or 6, before you know it, that's it. They'll be asking if the tour bus is ready to get out for their tour around town.
Yeah.
But Adrian, we've been talking quite a bit about sort of transfer rumours and stuff. And I'm not going to ask you to name players or anything like that, but what do you think we need? You know, what sort of areas should we be looking at in the off season? Do you think?
I think the biggest one for me is the replacements for people that have kind of been moved on. So a replacement for Tozer, a replacement for Luke Young, and I know technically George Evans plays that role, but having another backup. The reason it was great to have Luke Young was when Evans was injured, you just slotted him straight in and it worked. But I think we need to find someone of a League One caliber that can either push Evans to fight for his spot. That's probably my biggest position out of the lot. I don't think we need any more strikers. I think we've kind of gone out of we just unless Luke Armstrong wants to finally sign for us, the poor bugger. But other than that, it would be the defensive side of things. Yeah, probably that centre back, another midfielder that can basically contest with Evans. Those are my 2 big ones on the wish list. And if Okonkwo's gone, then probably a goalkeeper.
That might be a big thing that we need, I think, if Okonkwo's going.
It'd be quite handy.
It would be handy.
We're not quite that good yet, are we? we don't need one.
Yeah, the back three's strong, but not that strong.
No, I don't think so at the moment. Look, there's another reason why we've got that. We love having these guys on. And we would have them on every week. And, it's not just that it's the 100th episode that we've got them on. There's another reason that we've got them on as well, because they have hit a milestone as well. So it's our 100th episode, and it's your guys' 50th episode as well. So congratulations, massive congratulations on that.
We're the kids, we're the young'uns. You guys are the wise old fools.
But you're going to go into like the "We're the Kids of America" song, like you're like we're the kids of America. Like I was like, oh my god.
Because we'll get a strike. We'll get a copyright strike if we do that. So don't sing.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, sorry.
You didn't. So it's fine.
If Disney hasn't copyright striked any of us for just doing Wrexham, like I'm pretty happy with that because. Yeah, I mean, it's Disney. Welcome to Wrexham's on Disney Plus in the UK, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it is here too. Because I know in the States it's on Hulu. So when I make these jokes to the Americans, they're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, no, it's on Disney Plus.
But that's the weird thing. They must see all of that, like the rival fans saying, oh, Disney FC and stuff like that. I do wonder what they make of that, because they must be looking at it going,
Hulu FC.
What? I don't get that. What are they talking about?
They must know it's on Disney Plus. They're not that silly.
No, maybe not. No. Anyway, sorry, we digress. So it's our 100th episode, your 50th episode. I'm wearing. That's why I wore this shirt, because 100 plus 50 is 150, and it's the 150th anniversary shirt.
Well done.
Because it's our 100th and their 50th. Yes. See.
Good first year maths, that, mate. Well done.
When you guys started doing this, did you think, not saying that it was going to fail or nothing, but did you think you were going to get to 50 and then you were going to kick on? If you're thinking back to them early episodes, what was your initial thoughts?
We didn't care. We really did not care one bit. We're like, let's just get together. We'll record it. We'll do a recording just for a bit of fun. And one person listens to it. One person listens to it. 100 people listen to it. 100 people listen to it. Well, we really didn't. And I really, really mean that we really didn't care. It was just like, it is what it is. So yeah, to think though that we've now come to where we're at and now doing 50 on our 50th episode and how much we've grown in those 50 episodes, it's very surreal. I don't see us giving it up anytime soon. I think we're in this for the long haul now.
I'm 50-50 about it all, to be real, but yeah, like I'm still on the fence, but
I mean, you say there at the start, you know, you didn't really care. You know, it was a case of you were doing it because you enjoyed it. It was something that you wanted to have fun with. As time's gone on, and you know, you've got more and more subscribers, more listeners. You know, you're up to 50 episodes. Do you now feel a responsibility with this podcast?
Yeah, I would say so. I think like after I think 5th or 6th episode, motivation very much became that we want to play our part, do our bit for the team, do our bit for Wrexham to bring more eyes to Wrexham, and whether that be within the Australian audience or worldwide audience that might just stumble across our channel, that weight of responsibility became very, very real very quickly. And I think probably when we first went over 1,000 subscribers as well on YouTube, and then getting signed by the Sports Social Network, it became more than just me and Adrian just coming together every week and talking about Wrexham. It's became no, we've got a real responsibility to our fans and to you know, listeners out there that are spending their money or coming to watch us week in, week out, to deliver a good product and an entertaining product that's also genuine to what we are as well. So yeah, that responsibility became very real very quickly. And but honestly, would not trade it for the world. It's been the best journey ever.
Yeah, I think I can honestly say that we love their podcast. Absolutely, we do. We absolutely love it. And I think the beauty of what you do is, I think what you do is unique in the sense of you have a freedom with the way that you do things. If people have watched Two Beards, they will probably understand.
If you haven't, why haven't you?
Yeah, if you haven't, why not? But I think you've got a certain freedom. You've got that sort of the best way I can describe it is it's the sort of guys in a bar sort of feel to it, where you're sitting together. I'm not saying it's not professional. That's not what I'm trying to say, guys. What I'm saying is it's got that sort of nice feel about, you know, guys sitting around chatting about something that they love. And I don't think you really get that with any of the other Wrexham podcasts. You know,
including ours.
No, but ours is different. No, ours is different.
Wow, ours is ourselves under the bus.
Ours isn't guys sitting around a bar, is it? My point is, we are at a different angle. I just think these two are very unique in what they do, and I love the two of you for that. I think it's great. Adrian, how can you see where can you see this podcast going over the next, let's say, 10 years? Let's go big.
God.
I mean, Rousey will be in prison. I will be probably it's just, we are very, very lucky to do what we do. And I think like you said, we did it for fun and we still do it for fun. I think that's the main thing. So I think in 10 years' time, we'll still be doing this. Whether it takes off further, it'd be great. But I think Rousey and I are very pragmatic about it, that we just keep saying, whether it's 100 subscribers or 1 subscriber, doesn't matter. We keep doing it. And I think at the start I was quite, we do things different. And I was really worried that, there can be a big cancel culture kind of thing where, people who swear a lot or people who, are quite as vulgar as we are can sometimes maybe not be as palatable to most people. But Rousey has really instilled something into me, and I hope I do the same with him, which is we have something that doesn't matter. We're two mates. We love having a chat. We love Wrexham. So what changes if we have everyone talking to us or no one talking to us? Who cares? So that I'm very happy to say that in 10 years' time, I still think we'll be doing this, and I still think we'll be talking about Wrexham.
In the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah. We would have won a third Champions League by that point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it'll be good.
Haaland will be playing with us. Nah, he won't be.
Haaland will be there.
Nah, he's average, isn't he?
Average.
Yeah, he's average.
Mullen's better, according to Rousey, so...
Look, guys, thank you so much for joining us. As we said, these guys are, I'm going to use the word again, unique. And you have to watch them on YouTube. You have to listen to their podcast. It is absolutely fantastic. It's not a surprise to us that they're doing so well at the moment, because it was very early on when we sort of met you guys for the first time, and we knew that we were just going to be friends.
You're our kind of people.
Yeah, definitely. And we knew that you were going to come on this journey with us, and you were going to be doing it for a long time. So from us, congratulations on your 50th episode. All the plaudits you get are well deserved, and we love you.
Thank you. We love you.
We appreciate the kind words. And just on the side note, we will be announcing hopefully a YouTube series when we come to Wrexham next year. We're going to go around with Ryan and Siân around Wrexham, and we're going to call it Getting Wrecked in Wrexham.
Oh,
Getting wrecked in Wrexham.
Oh my God. I don't drink, so I'll just drive you guys round.
I'll get wrecked.
Spend an hour with me, you'll end up drinking. Trust me. You'll.
Thank you, mate. And look, on the behalf of both of us, congratulations on your 100. We literally we'll say it again, we literally would not be in the position we're in if it wasn't for you guys taking a chance on two Australians, bringing them on your pod and spreading the word about us. And I literally cannot thank you enough. And now we're lucky to call you our friends. Like it's a pretty surreal experience for us. So congratulations on the 100. And you guys are going to do so much more and so much more exciting things that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, thank you.
Let's feel the love.
Feel the love.
Copyright strikes. We've got to worry about these copyright strikes.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a song called "Feel This Love" in that voice anyway.
Not in that voice, no. 100%. I think we'll get away with it.
I think we'll get away with that one. Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. Anyway, it's been great as always.
Thank you,
guys. Really appreciate it.
Oh, I love them too.
Yeah, they are so lovely, and we've never met them. But they are like our Australian family.
Yes. No, that's true. That's another. Well, we know what they look like, obviously.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
But yeah, no, another. So fingers crossed. 2025, as they said.
Oh no, there's no fingers being crossed. It is happening.
Okay.
Adrian and Chris have said it's happening.
Okay, they've said it's happening. That's it.
It's happening.
Okay.
Yes.
Look, we're going to have a look at a couple of transfer rumours again this week, as we always do, as we promised. So the first one is Mark Leonard. Now, Mark Leonard is a Brighton midfielder. He spent last season on loan at Northampton, played all 46 league games, scored 5. He's been heavily linked with Oxford. Now, Oxford have just been promoted, obviously, up to the Championship. He's heavily linked with them, but we're also linked with them, along with Plymouth, Hull, and Preston as well. He's only 22. And they reckon he would be available for the 300k sort of area. That sort of amount.
Do you know what? I thought you were saying 300k a week then. I was like, no, that is literally not going to happen.
No, that's the sort of numbers that I think that they're talking about for a transfer for him. Now, for me, I don't know a lot about this guy. I really don't. I had to sort of delve into it a bit. Some players that we're linked with, I know them. I know quite a bit about them. Mark Leonard isn't one that's really showed up on my radar previously, if I'm completely honest. But age-wise, I would say...
no chance.
No. Well, see, age-wise, it's the sort of age that we need to start attracting to the club,
ready for when we get into the Championship.
Yeah. Well, it's more about future-proofing the club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we have talked about it before, about sort of not wanting to be a retirement home for footballers, but it's a sort of needs-must model sometimes, where you need the experience coming in to sort of galvanize that squad. You can only really do that with sort of like slightly older players. The ideal sort of age for a player coming in who's got experience and could sort of push you forward is probably around the 27, 28 mark, where they've had 10, 11, 12 years in football, potentially full-on professional football. That sort of age is quite expensive to buy in because of that reason. Equally, the younger players who are already playing league football, who have the potential to go on to be really big players.
Yeah.
That's another issue, because you're buying an asset in that has got years in front of them, so they could play for you for a very long time, and that is reflected ultimately in the price. So
I'm not sure why I thought of this question, but it's just popped up in my head.
Oh God.
Completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
But are footballers employed? I know they're employed by the club.
Yes.
So does that mean that they're paid by the club?
Yes.
So the club sorts out all their tax and stuff.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because I wondered.
How random is that?
I told you it was random.
You're looking.
You were talking then. I was just thinking, I wonder if they pay their own PAYE.
Well, they obviously they'll get a wage slip and everything from the club, and then that they obviously have to talk out the tax and everything.
I think my question was, are they classed as self-employed?
Oh, I get you. Right.
So do they have to do all their national insurance and all that jazz?
No, they will be. They're employed. Their employer is the club.
This might be some information that the viewers might want to know.
It might. I doubt it, but it might be. Yes.
It's just my weird mind.
So, what's your thoughts on sort of like, not the player itself, because we don't know loads about him. But obviously, it has been with a Premier League club in Brighton. Has played a full season League One level. Is attracting interest from Championship clubs. Age is a really, nice sort of figure for us because he's a young player. Thoughts?
It very much depends, doesn't it? So, for example, Oxford. Did you say it was Oxford that are interested?
Yeah, they're the front runners apparently.
So, yeah, you've got it depends again what this guy wants. Or anyone wants, actually. If they're already in League One, and they're getting interest from Championship, but what they need to think about is, are they going to get actual game time? He played 46 games
in League
for
One.
Northampton.
Yeah.
So,
on loan though, so it's not their play.
Fine, but he still played 46 games.
Yeah.
So it's like, if he does go to Oxford, is he going to be playing all 46 games? Yeah. Or is he just going to be on the bench every week, or not on the bench every week? And again, they've got to, like we've discussed this previously, what kind of mindset has this certain player got? Do they want to be on the bench with the potential of going up but still getting paid loads of money? Or is football means more to them, and they want to go on a journey,
week out development,
go on a journey? But then you think, well, will they do that at Wrexham? Will they play in, week out? Because midfielders, you've got
who knows? It's one of them, isn't it? We're not going to know the conversations that are being had. No. Equally, what we don't know is if any conversations are being had. These are just rumours. They're just a report that has linked us with them. I think what people need to remember a little bit is when players become available,
everyone links them with Wrexham.
I think, if they're of a certain level, I think you're always going to be linked with us. Although, having said that, agents have they've got no obligation to the clubs.
No,
so the
they
agents
don't care.
The agents will very much are more than happy to leak stuff out to certain media outlets. So sometimes if you want to approach a player, you would have to go through the agent. You wouldn't go directly to the player.
What if you don't have an agent?
Every player's got an agent.
There was a certain player that didn't have an agent. Who's that?
Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have an agent.
There you go then.
Yeah, we're not signing him though.
It'd be good, wouldn't it?
Kevin De Bruyne does all his own stuff. He negotiates new deals. He does a full presentation about how he's important to the team, his assists, what he brings to the team, what the team's like when he doesn't play.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It is,
but we're not buying him.
But that is, I would say, very, very unique. The way that he does that. So
it's obviously working for him, though, isn't it?
It is. So look. Players out there will have agents, so you go to the agent. So, for example, if Wrexham are genuinely interested in Mark Leonard, they would have approached the agent, said, right, can he have a conversation with us? Oh, look, he's already having a conversation with a few others. They wouldn't name who they were. So then the agent would compile a list of clubs that have contacted him. He would go to the player and go, look, these are interested.
Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, who do you want to talk to? These are, or in a lot of scenarios, especially with young players, the agent will go, you are talking to this, this, and this. And then, but as I say, the agent won't necessarily have any sort of affinity or obligation to any club at all.
So
they could leak whatever they wanted, and by leaking certain information out to the press, could potentially drive up the price of their stock, as it were, in their player, and could potentially.
Sneaky.
What it does is it almost creates a bidding war for a player that doesn't even exist. So they're going, look, all of these people are interested. And then if somebody reads in the media that 4, 5, 6 clubs are interested in a player, that might prompt another club to be interested in that player.
Why are they interested?
Why are they interested? They're in the same league as us.
Yeah.
How much is he worth? And then all of a sudden, you don't have 2, 3, 4 clubs interested. You have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clubs interested. And for an agent, that's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
So sometimes people go, look, stuff doesn't get leaked out of the club. Very true. It doesn't. But you have to bear in mind there are outside factors in this, which are the agents, which are aware of what's going on. So sometimes when stuff is leaked out to the press, it is true because it's come from an agent. So
I've got a quick rumour for you. It's not about them coming to us, but Luke Young has been rumoured to be in talks with Tranmere Rovers.
Ooh.
And there was another team, but I can't remember what that was.
Tranmere might be I wouldn't like him to go to Tranmere because obviously the proximity to us, the fact that they're a bit of a rival.
But they're not in League One, though.
No, they're not. But I'm not sure how I'd feel about him playing for them. Although for Luke,
I'm sure he'll take that into account when he's making his decision.
That Ryan from Me, the Wife from Wrexham FC, isn't completely happy with it. But sort of locality-wise, probably perfect for him because he wouldn't have to move. So wherever he lives now, Tranmere's just down the road. He could carry on living. So the disruption.
I think the other one's MK Dons, but I don't know.
So the disruption for him, is minimal.
Yeah.
So that would sort of work. Another transfer rumour for us this week. I could have gone for Conor Hourihane. Now Conor
Hourihane.
Yeah, Irish.
We love the Irish over here, don't we?
We do, and obviously he will be. He will know James McLean.
Yep.
He will know, a few of the others. Played for Villa, and he spent last season at Derby.
Yeah.
Got them promoted. Played every single game for Derby last season.
Yeah.
Has been released by them. But anyway. I'm not going for Conor Hourihane. I've sort of given you all these stats about Conor Hourihane. I'm not going for him, and the main reason is we're a little unsure what Conor Hourihane's doing.
I think he's signing for somebody else.
Yeah, he might be. Now the weird thing with him is he's already doing his coaching badges. So while working at Derby, he was also coaching at Villa. So it was a bit of a weird one, but he managed to coach at Villa and play every game at Derby. So I'm just steering away from him for now. And we might circle back round to Conor Hourihane. But anyway, I have gone for a defender because we know we're in the market for a defender.
Can I just interrupt? It was Crew. Sorry.
Crew, was it? Yeah. Okay. So Blackpool have released central defender Marvin Ekpiteta. Yeah, thank you.
What kind of song are you going to sing for that?
I don't. Yeah. He's 28.
Yeah.
6'4".
Oh.
He's played over 100 games in 4 years for the Seasiders.
Blackpool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
65 of them games were in the Championship. So decent level of defender, 28, decent age. He has been linked with a move back to Leyton Orient, where he's played before. He also played over 100 games for Leyton Orient as well. So
they're in League One, aren't they?
They are in League One, yeah. So we're in the market, and again, we don't really know.
It's really slow, isn't it?
It is. Look, we look at clubs that have signed lots of players in the off season so far. We're biding our time. We're taking our time to make sure we get it right. To make sure, as I've said before, we don't get our pants pulled down by price or anything like that. So we're just taking our time with it. Look, the two that I've mentioned today, sort of three, but two I've mentioned today, I think would both be very good additions to the squad. Players who have been at a higher level, some have played at Championship level for a few seasons as well. That's the sort of player you want to draw in now. So keep an eye out for them too, I would say.
I'm always looking on like Team Talk and Talk Sport and all that kind of stuff to see if there's any rumours, but yeah. Look,
welcome to Wrexham. Episode 6 came out this week. Very much followed the Patagonia Reds.
Yeah. Oh my God, so interesting, this story.
It is. David, Matthias and Rocio. I'm going to say Rocio.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce.
Okay. I am fascinated by Patagonia.
You said you learnt it in school. I don't ever remember learning about it in school.
No, but it's very different for you and me. I went to a Welsh medium school, so all of my lessons were in Welsh. It was everything was Welsh. My son goes to the same school.
Our son. Our son. I gave birth to him.
Our son goes to the same school. He is. I was talking to him about it. He's very aware of Patagonia. I think it's very much something that's taught in Welsh medium schools.
It should be taught in all schools.
Perhaps you're correct, but I don't have any influence in.
Well, it wasn't when I was in school.
In the Welsh school system, unfortunately. But I learnt about it. Always been fascinated about it because. Obviously a lot of people from Wales emigrated to South America, Argentina, and, started a community. Mm-hmm. So I learned a lot about Patagonia when I was in school, and listening to people talk Welsh with a Spanish accent.
It was so bizarre.
Blew my mind. And Rocio, the girl that was on, her Welsh was excellent. I mean, it was superb. So,
but her mum brought them up speaking Welsh.
So it was really fascinating to sort of listen to that story. We had David Mardones, who I sort of know because I'm part of the Patagonia Reds group on Facebook. But I do, I post all that stuff on there. We are part of the Patagonia Reds group on Facebook.
We are.
Yeah.
I from Wrexham.
So I post about new episodes in there, so I knew David because he posts on there quite a bit. David's a very emotional person.
Was he the emotional one?
Very emotional. He sort of burst into tears quite a few times. And the reason I find it so fascinating is that they feel Welsh. Yeah, they feel that all of their roots are Welsh.
Yep.
And, some of them speak Welsh. And I always find it bizarre that you must have this sort of sense of belonging that is sort of slightly incomplete. Because you feel like you're from Wales, but you've never been there. That must be quite an odd...
Weird.
An odd feeling there's a word hiraeth in Welsh, which is like a sort of like longing, and it must be a really weird feeling. So I was really glad that they got the opportunity to not only come to Wrexham, but obviously the Wales element of
Say something to him in Welsh.
What?
To the Patagonia Red, say something in Welsh.
Yeah, but they don't all speak Welsh. That's the thing. So
I just like hearing you speak in Welsh.
Yeah, so it
any
was
opportunity.
Yeah, it was. Look, it was just really nice.
It was,
and I really enjoyed the episode, if I'm honest, and I liked seeing them get to fulfil that desire to come to Wales and experience.
It was a 5-0 win as well. The game that they watched.
Which one did they go to? I can't remember now. No, it was the Accrington game, wasn't it?
So it was 4-0.
That was. Yeah. So it's the one where Mullin scored a hat-trick.
Yes, it was. Sorry.
Yeah, so it was 4-0.
Yeah.
We also got to see Mendy going off to the AFCON.
Yeah.
You like Mendy, though,
I love Mendy.
Yeah.
I do. I think he's real. And like we were talking whilst we were watching it, because he mentioned that he's part of a tribe, and it's like that blows my mind as well. It's like this, you know. I just think it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Like all people say, oh, you know, I've got my tribe, but they literally have got a tribe, which is amazing.
It's fascinating, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do. We were talking about that when it was on, you know, and it was you sort of realise what the Welcome to Wrexham documentary does is it sort of makes you realise how little you know about the world and about, you know, what's out there. And we talked about that, and I'd really find it fascinating.
I was gutted. We knew that they hadn't won, but we were gutted.
Yeah, I know.
Because Mendy looked really just like, so defeated.
Look, hopefully he's got lots of international appearances.
I think so. He's only young, isn't he?
He is indeed.
Yeah.
Look, it focused very much on our poor away form, really, didn't it? It was like Newport, Salford, which we were there. Yeah, and that was horrendous. They skimmed over that. We had a fan cam for that. And then at the end of the game, they were like, they are literally using none of this footage because it was just dire.
I think you said to Sandy, I said, I don't think you'll use any
I just,
of this.
handed it back and go, you're not using any of that.
No.
The Gilliam game, the Forest Green Rovers game, at that point, I sort of remember thinking, this is slipping away from us now, through that sort of period where we weren't doing...
People were like getting on the Parky Out bandwagon again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I've never ever been on that bandwagon.
I don't think I've been on that bandwagon.
But you've thought it.
I have wondered
I have never thought
at times whether we might be better off going in a different direction, and I'm glad I only ever thought it. I have wondered, because I think as a football fan you have to wonder sometimes, would we be better doing things a slightly different way?
In the end it's working,
yeah,
isn't
but when you're in the middle of it, you don't know that in the end it's going to work out.
We should have faith. It happened for us in the National League going to League 2. It's happened from League 2 to League 1.
I've never been a Parky Out.
No.
But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I haven't wondered on occasions
what it would be like,
whether we might be better off with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I am more than happy to admit that I've thought that and to be proved wrong about that as the season's gone on.
Yeah.
I've got no issue with that. But I think a lot of people would be quite similar to me in the sense of that they have mused around whether he was still the right man for the job, you know, not without voicing it in some of the way the people on the documentary did, but I think a lot of people certainly would have wondered and thought about it. I
wonder what that guy that said we need a new manager.
I wonder what he's thinking
now.
now.
I wonder what he's thinking now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think now.
Never say something on a documentary which you know is going to be archived for many, many years.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work for this next section because I couldn't let this episode go by without saying my favourite quote from the whole of the season.
I get why you mean work now.
And I'm gonna.
Can you not just spell it out?
Oh, I don't know.
I know it won't have the same effect, but it's very offensive.
I know it is, but it is my favourite quote from the whole season.
Yeah.
And it was the Parky quote in the dressing room. It's not my favourite quote from the whole season. I think it's my favourite quote
of the whole
all 3 seasons. Yeah. Parky saying in the dressing room, it sticks in my throat how these celebrated on the pitch when they beat us at their place, and I could just see the absolute. It was just my.
You let out like a little. You went when you said that, didn't you?
I even rewound the episode to see him say it again.
I wonder how many people did that.
It was my favourite bit. It has to be my favourite bit.
Apologies.
Of all time.
I mean, it will be beeped out.
Of course it will.
But yeah, beeping out, you can still kind of get what you're saying.
I know. But so look, another enjoyable episode. I'm not sure I'm enjoying the season 3 as much as I enjoyed season 1 and 2.
I keep saying it's just got the same people in it. Like, I love seeing like Arthur Massey for instance. He could be on every single series for all I care. He's amazing. But I think it's about time that we had some new blood and young.
Siân just wants us to be on it.
No, not necessarily. We've done a documentary, baby. No, I just think younger fans who.
Yeah, I get you.
And newer fans, if that happens to be me, then no, I'm joking. So yeah, it's. I'm worried it's going to get a bit samey,
bit stale,
possibly.
Yeah. Okay,
but
that's your opinion, and you are entitled to it. And you have a platform to voice your opinion.
But you know how much of a people pleaser I am.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Saying something
so
negative.
Siân's going, this is what I'm saying, but if you
love it really.
If you disagree with me, then I'll change my mind. That's what she said. Also, obviously, Prince William visited. Boring. Let's move on. Right. Okay. So we've got another guest on. It's another veteran.
You get done for treason for saying that.
I don't care. It's another veteran of the show. Somebody who's been on the show before.
He's got his hat trick.
Yes, got his hat trick. So welcome to the show. The one, the only, the well-loved Mark Griffiths. How are you, Mark?
I'm great, thank you very much. I'm honoured for you to bring me on for your centenary edition. I guess I'm the only guest you've had who is 100 years old. Appropriate. If I come on 5 times, do I get to be your brother-in-law?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I don't have any brothers or sister-in-laws, so yeah. Ryan's an only child, so.
Me too. So this is going to work, people.
All the best people are single children, I think. That's my feeling.
Are you Ryan?
I am indeed. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I would say
no. Our son is as well. So, and I can categorically say that doesn't apply to him.
That's horrible.
I'm joking. I love him.
Yes.
I love him.
Good backtrack.
I do. I love him. Anyway,
we digress.
We digress. So, Mark, we had a great season last season. Did you have a favourite moment from the whole of the season?
Wow. Okay. Gosh. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this. I'll tell you what. Cleworth's goal at Colchester, I think, got a lot of things moving. From that point on, I mean, okay, you could say the Mullin goal because I thought we were playing okay in that game, but when it was 1-0, I starting to be feel a bit concerned where the goal was coming from. So those 2 goals, I think, are what really kick-started us. If you think about it, from that point onwards, we were just sensational. And I'm inclined to think Cleworth's, even though Mullins was so historic, simply because, well, it was the winner and it had that fantastic emotional charge as well of it being Cleworth. It was just, it's one of those lovely things where, everybody's sort of in communion. We all felt, whether you were in the away ends, commentating on the pitch, oh, great, it's Cleworth of all people. It was really great because he looks like the sort of player who will score a lot of goals for a centre-back. And yet he hadn't, really, only 1 FA Trophy game goal for us, 2 goals for Carnarvon. So yeah, I think so. I think that one, and that really kick-started us as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
I love Cleworth. I think he is one that is definitely going to start getting looked at by, championships and Premier League teams. Maybe not just yet.
Yeah.
But I think he's heading that way.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. And I think he's one of the players. I think he has a special place as well. Because, Rob and Ryan have got these big ideas, haven't they?
Yeah.
They want to be in the Premier League. And if you look around the squad, you sort of go, it's not many people are going to stick with us to get that far. But he is one that you sort of look at and you go, he could very well play for us in the National League, League Two, League One, Championship, if we ever got that far.
Yeah.
He is the one that you could see definitely doing that. Talking about them, Rob and Ryan's sort of big plans, Mark, they're always talked about the Premier League. Is that sort of thinking too far outside? Is that never possible for us, or is it something that you think we should definitely be aiming for?
I know that the way modern football is now is that money talks, and everyone says that the big 4 or 5 teams can't get broken into by the other Prem teams, and it's sort of set up for Championship teams to be yo-yo teams, if you will. But I feel like the evidence doesn't agree with that. I mean, Luton, look what Luton just did. They've not got crazy amounts of money behind them, and they have a very restricted stadium in terms of what they can fit in. Look at Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth seem to be pretty much on the road to establishing themselves in the Prem again, having already done that, the last time they were in. I mean, to my mind, I know I'm talking about the past, but until the last 10, 15 years, I've always seen Bournemouth as a small team that I expect us to beat, at least certainly at home. Where we're in the same league as them, I always saw them as, we'll win at home. They'll probably win at theirs because it's a long way away. But, I mean, they've done superbly. But, I mean, both those clubs have managed their resources exceptionally well. I would say that Rob and Ryan have got their heads screwed on in that respect. Because like I've said a number of times, that people talk about, all the money they're spending, how will we deal with it? Well, but we're generating so much revenue. It doesn't seem to me that the financial tests will be an issue for us. And then, they've appointed canny managers. Well, I would say we have as well. I mean, Parkinson's done a remarkable job. So why not? Why not? I accept usually when teams are promoted from League Two, they're not talking about getting into the Prem. But it's interesting how many sensible people in the media and sensible social media outlets discuss it as a serious prospect rather than just as clickbait. So why not? You see well-organized teams go up. We're building something where that core of players is consistent, and obviously we've seen that we've lost some of them as we go along the way, but there's players on this team who can play in a championship, I would argue. So why not? Why not? And I don't fully understand why people. I get it. The number of people who said to me, like at the end of the season, well, now we need a few years of consolidation now. That we need to make ourselves a League One team. And I understand the logic of what they're saying, but why? We've got a lot of money. You seize the moment. I mean, if Parkinson brings in 5 or 6 players who are good enough to go straight into our first team now and make the players who got us promoted reserves, which if you think about the retained list is what we did last summer, then why should we tread water? And certainly Rob, Ryan and Parkinson will not be thinking that at all. They won't be thinking, okay, let's aim for 14th. That's definitely not the plan, is it? So why not?
I don't think any of the players would be either. I think the players are like,
not.
They're playing to win at the end of the day. So yeah, I think why not? Why not?
I mean, I know you don't like making predictions, Mark, but what in your mind constitutes a good season next year in League One?
Well, you see, when you start a question with, I don't like making predictions, this is going to be a disappointing answer. Well, it's actually, no, to be fair, it's not a prediction, is it? It's what would be good. And it's difficult in some ways to explain because you've got to see the circumstances. But I just feel very strongly, like I say, I assume we'll bring in 5 or 6 players. And I don't think we'll be looking that much for the future with those signings. I think we'll be looking more at impact now. Because as you mentioned earlier, the future is, and it's one of Rob and Ryan's stated intentions to build up the youth setup. I mean, the youth team did brilliantly last year. Clwyd is their example, shining example to follow. So I think I sort of feel like I want to look at the quality of those signings, because I'm expecting them to be the sort of players who would be coming from a higher level, or players like Barnett who we got from the same level because they're clearly very, very good. I mean, you know, if you're top 10 or so, you're gonna be saying that's impressive. But I don't think for a second we'd be aiming for that. So I think top 10 would be okay. It depends on the circuit, you know. So you get lots of injuries as well. You got to look into that, or you finish 10th, but we get in the quarterfinals of one of the cups. You know, you'll take that, won't you? But you just want to see continuing forward momentum, don't you? The moment it stalls, do we become a harder sell to championship level players? Because yeah, you're quite right, aren't you? The players would never look at it as, let's just stay where we are, let's just be safe. They never look at it that way. And how do you attract a guy who's playing 30 games a season in a championship down a level by saying, yeah, we'll be looking to, like, you know, win a few, you know, stay out of trouble? Well, they say, well, I'll take that. I'll have that. I'll take that deal a level up. Thank you very much. So yeah, exactly. We want to push on. Yeah. In the conversation about the playoffs, I would say it would be a decent season, but I genuinely don't see why, if we get the signings right, I don't see why we don't go up again. And I know that's a very bold thing to say, and I'm a pessimist, believe it or not. But I believe now. I no longer have that sense of, oh, something's going to go wrong. It's weird. I've turned into the most optimistic Wrexham fan from being one of the most cautious.
I think it's hard not to be, though, isn't it? You know, going from National League to League Two, and then obviously promoting to League One in you know, such a short space of time. You know, like people, you know, teams like Salford, they've been in League Two for like 5 seasons now, is it?
Must be, yeah. And
roughly,
we've said exactly what Mark said there. We've said it on this show for 4, 5, 6 weeks now, that how we do next season is all down to the recruitment in the summer. The recruitment now is key to how we move forward. But I agree with you, Mark. I think, why not? You know, if we were to finish, you know, 10th, 11th, 12th, and you know you've got another league, you've got another go at it, you know, the season after in League One again, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's a complete lie. It is a lie. Yeah, it is. But but it's, you know, I think while the momentum's there, sport's all about momentum, and we've got it at the moment, and the players who come in are going to feel that as well. Yeah. They're going to feed off who's already there. So, yeah.
So talking of obviously next season, we've got a lot of top teams that we're going to be obviously facing. Are there any teams that you're particularly looking forward to seeing, home or away?
Well, the one game, and this is just personal, it really is, it's not going to make much sense to people, I don't think. I've never been to Charlton.
Oh my goodness!
That is ours as well, 100%.
That is weird.
If you're gonna take me down there, thank you very much. Yeah. I've never been to Charlton. I remember watching Charlton against us when I was a kid. We had this bizarre. I mean, I'm off the top of my head. I'm saying 1980. This bizarre couple of home games against them. One of which we won 3-2, which was terrific. And if I remember correctly, I think Mickey Vinter, who was a great sort of a penalty area sniffer, scored a hat-trick. That could be completely wrong. But in my head, it's true. And that's all that matters, damn it. But then the other game is the famous FA Cup tie we played against them, famous for a very bizarre incident where we're winning 5-0 and we get a penalty. And Dixon McNeil has taken it. And again, in my imagination, I feel it was for a hat-trick. I'm less confident about that. But McNeil gets into an argument with the ref and manages to get himself sent off before taking the penalty. It's just, so I just, for that alone, Charlton sticks in my head. But I've never actually been there. And yes, that really appeals to me. Because I've been to the only localish club that well, I say localish, the only closer club I think I've not been to the actual ground is Bolton. I've been to the old Bolton ground, which was, to be fair, a proper dump. And I was sitting in a stand on the side of the pitch. I was only about 12 or something. And there was a pillar genuinely directly in front of me, and I had to sit with one leg either side and look around the pillar to watch the match. Seriously, it was right there. And it was in the days before they knocked it down, Burnden Park, where behind one end was a supermarket, no stand, just the back wall of a supermarket. So yeah, funnily enough, Bolton's new ground is the closest ground I've not been to by a distance. So I quite like, and then, yeah, there's going to be some fun away teams coming to us, aren't there? So that, you know, we got to create an atmosphere. You know, you get Birmingham coming in. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to going to Charlton because it's got kind of a personal connection for me because my granddad used to play for Charlton Athletic Reserves before the war. So we talked about that on our last podcast, didn't we? So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I want to go down there. But I'm also looking forward to going to Birmingham as well.
Yeah, there's some huge clubs.
There's
absolutely huge. And to be honest, the more I look at League One, the more scared I become because I look at all these teams and think, well, remember them in the Premier League, them in the Premier League, them in the Premier League, and it's like. And that you suddenly realise you're starting to play with the big boys now, and it is, you know. But look, everyone's in a league for a reason. You know, no one doesn't deserve to be where they are. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's, you know, it's one of them really.
You get a bit of a sense of that in League One, though. In League Two, when we came up, did you look at that and think, okay, there's some decent established football league teams here?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I feared it the same as I did looking at League One, though. You know, because there's some huge clubs there, but the beauty of facing huge clubs is pretty big away allocations of tickets, isn't it? So, which is one really nice thing that we've got to look forward to as well. So. One last thing, Mark, before we go. We have, it's very much an international audience that we have on this show. And a lot of them are reading sort of stories about the deal between the EFL and Sky. And everyone's running around in a panic that they're not going to get to listen to your commentary on iFollow. As we understand it, iFollow will continue internationally. So I just wanted to ask you that question, just to alleviate any fears for anybody watching. Are you going to be continuing to commentate on games?
Yes. I don't see this as much as alleviating fears as dashing hopes. Internationally, exactly the same as before. In Britain, 10 games of the Sky commentators on and be on TV. The other live streamed games will be the iFollow commentary. So basically that's it.
Brilliant.
Plus, you know, the Bristol Street Motors and things like that will all be on Sky streaming, won't they?
Yeah.
You know, that means I'm commentating on Sky, doesn't it? Yeah. They better start pushing some cash my way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you that needs to definitely go on the CV, doesn't it?
Sky commentator. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know about that. I think it's...
Mark, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure for you to join us. We love talking to you. Hence why you've been on so many times. We wouldn't keep asking you if we didn't enjoy talking to you. But
thank you.
Thank you very much.
I absolutely love it. And 3 times now. So do I get to keep the ball?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yes. Yeah. We'll get that sent through to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right. Let's talk about our next opponent that we've chosen.
Yeah.
So we've chosen Crawley Town.
Yeah, I wanted to go for one of the little guys.
Yeah. Christian McHale will be happy with this because he didn't want us to finish on Crawley.
Okay. Yeah.
He didn't want us, you know, the finale of the teams that we're discussing. So this is just for you, Christian.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No,
So there we go. Yeah,
just pretend.
There you go, Christian. I've done what you wanted without knowing that's what you wanted. So there you go.
So Crawley beat Crewe 2-0 in the playoff final after finishing 7th in the league on 70 points.
Pause you. Okay, let me get your opinion on this because I know my dad's got quite strong opinions about the playoffs.
He does.
So I just wanted to get your sort of opinions really. What do you feel about a team finishing 7th in the league ending up getting promoted
over people that are like
over the people that are in 4th, 5th, and 6th. How do you feel? How does that make you feel?
I think it's a fair game.
Is it though, or would it be fairer?
No. The reason why.
Or would it be fairer to go 1st to 4th, promoted, everyone else nothing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be the dream, wouldn't it?
But would you rather that happens, or do you like the playoffs? Is my point.
No, we've witnessed playoffs. No, I don't like playoffs. Wrexham are not good at playoffs.
Do you like the playoffs in general when Wrexham are involved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because because especially like the North League, National. I don't know why I got a lisp then. The National League South and the National League North. Those playoffs are like really exciting.
Fascinating, aren't they?
Really exciting. So I think taking that away with them, I think it's a good opportunity for them. But as you get higher into the like leagues.
Yeah.
Into the English League.
Yeah.
I think maybe they're not as exciting. I don't know. I might be completely wrong. Fans might love it.
I love the playoffs. I think they are.
But only at a low level.
No, not necessarily. I love all level of playoffs.
We've watched every single playoff.
We really have.
Been known to man this week.
I find them fascinating. I do understand my sort of dad's point on this is it would really stick in the throat of the people who finish 4th in the league to see the team down in 7th when we've had a much better season than them, and to switch from a league format competition to then switch into a knockout cup competition format.
Yeah.
For some, they don't like it. I love it, and I think it's great. I was just interested to see what you said.
It will be nice to play them again because, we know we can beat them. So it'll be at least one team that we know we can beat.
Yeah. Look, League One's the highest they've ever been. Okay, but before now, they spent 3 seasons there from 2012 to 2015. They only became an EFL club for the first time in 2011. For the first time in their history, they became an EFL club. They'd been a non-league club for their entirety before that. They're another team who went back-to-back from the National League. So they went back-to-back from National League to League One in 2010-11 and 2011-12. So they did what we've just done now. We beat them twice last season. 1-0 away. Ollie Palmer's little lobby thing that he did.
Lobby.
Yeah, and obviously he's an ex-Crawley player as well. Who hasn't Ollie Palmer played for? Not many clubs, I don't think.
No.
He has quite a large rap sheet of clubs that he has played for. We beat him 4-1 at home with goals from Barnett, Cannon, and a brace from Paul Mullin. I think that home game against Crawley was the one I was most nervous about towards the end of the season. Yeah. Because they were on a really good run. They looked like they were playing really good football. And I was worried about it. And to dispatch them the way that we did, I think it was one of my favourite games of the season because it just felt like a really important game.
The one where you missed some of it because it was like, wasn't it like 3-0 up? Oh no, was that I can't remember. There was a game where you and my brother were just having a beer because the game was going so well.
That was the Forest
Was it the
Green?
Forest Green?
Yeah, it wasn't that one.
Right,
no,
okay.
No. So yeah, I think that was one of our most important games. I said they only became an EFL club for the first time in 2011. You might wonder whether they had been sort of like founded only in like the 60s or 70s or something like that. No, 1896 they were actually founded, and it took them all the way until 2011 to actually get into the Football League. So that's a mission and a half that they've been on to get to the Football League up until that point.
I thought 15 years was bad.
No, yeah, I know. They play home games at Broadfield Stadium. Only got a capacity of 6,134. Although, in previous seasons, the away allocation has been about 1,600. So bearing in mind the capacity of the ground, that's a pretty decent away allocation to get at somewhere like that.
Crawley's down south, isn't it?
It is 235 miles away.
Oh yeah,
about 4 hours. Now they're owned by Wagme United. Ever heard of them?
No.
Most people haven't, I don't think. They're a group of US cryptocurrency investors.
Really?
Basically, yes. They bought the club in 2022.
How weird.
Yeah. So they made a lot of money in cryptocurrency. Come over here and bought one of the clubs. So another set of American owners. Before you say it, I know Ryan's Canadian, but another set of American owners.
Yep.
And they've had quite a sort of turbulent start to their sort of tenure as owners. They had 6 managers in the first 12 months of ownership.
Why is that? Because the managers didn't like them, or they didn't like the managers?
There's a couple of different reasons. I'm not going to go too much into it. One of them was quite controversial. I'm not going to go into all that sort of stuff now. But yeah, they changed managers. 2 of them were interim managers, so it sort of skews the sort of stat a little bit. But yeah, so but now they're settled. They've got Scott Lindsay. He's been there for 18 months. I've sort of read a little bit about Scott Lindsay, and he instills a certain sort of like he expects a certain level from players, a level that you would assume clubs already have, but it's surprising how many clubs don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think the owner basically, I saw him getting interviewed at the playoff final, and he said it took him a couple of months just to get all the players to turn up on time.
Yes, I remember that.
You're watching that with me.
Yeah.
So, he's trying to sort of change the way, and look, it's obviously working. They've had their struggles, but top scorer last season was Danilo Orsi. He scored 25, but 4 of them, 25, came in the playoffs.
Wow.
Which is, fascinating to me that you got a player. Well, not fascinating. It's sort of what you expect your main goal scorer to do, to step up in the big games. They obviously battered MK Dons in the semi-finals and beat Crew in the final. I would say of the playoffs that I watched, I think even though they finished 7th, probably the most deserving out of everyone to go up. Their aggregate victory over MK Dons was the highest ever aggregate victory in a playoff semi-final.
Whatever.
Ever.
Wow, that's an achievement.
So I think, the first game where they beat MK Dons, everyone thought that's a little bit of a fluke, and then they went away and they did it again and they backed it up, and then they went into the final. So they deserve
to go up, really?
I think so.
Yeah.
For me, I think they definitely deserve to go up. Based on let me just clarify what I'm saying. Based on the playoffs, they deserve to go up. Maybe not over the whole season they deserve to go up, but certainly, they definitely deserve to go up based on what happened in the playoffs. So yeah, another interesting one. How they fare next season, I don't know. It's a weird one.
I don't think anyone knows how we're going to fare next season.
No, but I think if you look at the team that goes up through the playoffs can struggle at times. If you just look back to the season before the one that's just gone, then Carlisle won the playoffs. They beat Stockport in the final. They went up and then they finished bottom of League One. So sometimes you could maybe argue the club that wins, that gets through in the playoffs, it might be a little bit of a stretch and a little bit too far for them. And sometimes they might be better just staying down and building on the good season that they've had.
They haven't got a big ground either, have they, really?
No, they haven't. So it will be interesting to see how they recruit in the summer and how they move forward. But definitely looking forward to playing Crawley again.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be like last time.
Maybe if they could sell Danilo Orsi though, because because he's.
I don't think they're going to do that.
No, nor me. Guest number 3 time.
Yes.
It's somebody who hasn't been on the show before. We really wanted them on the show. We pursued them. Emailed
Some say stalked.
Some might say that. Yes, but yeah, we've got him on. So welcome to the show, Liam Stokes-Massey. How are you doing, Liam?
Hiya, great, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem. For anybody who's been
living under a rock,
who maybe doesn't know who Liam is, Liam, can you explain to everyone what it is you do and how people would know you?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of well known for doing like the Wrexham illustrations and most notably probably the murals around town. But as a job, I do a bit of everything. So I do like drawings, paintings for people, all sorts really. So, but yeah, mostly like the Wrexham stuff. Yeah.
I mean, for us, we've just got to say that we've seen a lot of, if not all of your stuff, and it is all absolutely fantastic. We love everything that you do. It's brilliant. The interesting thing that I wanted to ask, the main thing that I wanted to ask, you've obviously done the Paul Mullin mural, which anybody who's been to Wrexham will know that one. The Phil Parkinson one as well, which is at the Turf.
It's amazing.
The Wrexham is the Name, which is also at the Turf. The White Palais, the Elliot Lee one, which is in the ground. The interesting thing for me, which sort of baffles me a little bit, and maybe you could answer it. As an artist, you obviously start small-ish. At what point do you sort of graduate from drawing on something that is sort of yay big to massive murals on walls? How does that happen?
That's a good question. I remember a few years ago now, I think I'd been to it was probably somewhere like Copenhagen or I can't think now, but I was walking around the city and I was like, my God, there's so many like amazing murals, and we haven't got any. So for a while, it's been something that I've wanted to happen, whether it was myself or someone else doing them, just as long as something got painted. And then, as luck would have it, so the first one I did was the Amal Heed one on the Fat Boar, so on the same wall as the Paul Mullin one. So it was like a mural that was celebrating Wales qualifying for the World Cup for the first time in 64 years. So Wild Gorse Festival that's currently on at the moment in T-Pow, they commissioned that. So it was just like, right, you put your money where your mouth is kind of thing. You said you wanted a wall, you've got to do it now. So I worked with another artist briefly for the design, and then pretty much did the whole thing. So yeah,
pretty impressive. It is pretty impressive for such. It's a massive wall, to be fair.
It's quite to someone like us who don't really, we're
not creative at all.
Well, we are creative, of course we are, but we're not artists. No. You know what I mean? So to draw something quite small seems quite daunting.
I don't think I can draw a stick man.
But to look up at a wall and just go, yeah, I could paint that, and I could, and paint it in such a way with the detail on
realistic.
It's absolutely amazing. In your head, do you have plans for doing loads of these wherever you can, or do you want to keep it quite select so you've only got a few around town?
I'd like to do a lot more. There's currently probably 99% sure I've got another wall sorted for town, which is really exciting. So hopefully I'll be able to share more of that in the coming weeks. But yeah, just literally that kind of work, of that size dotted around a city or a town just brings so much to the place. It gives people pride, or helps, bring a bit of pride into where people live. There's the tourism element. you know, it's just more of this sort of thing, kind of, you know. So you know, if I could do more, great. But there are so many talented artists in this town that, you know, if someone does it, so, you know, because my work, you've seen my work, it's kind of not kind of graduated to proper colour. It's always got black and whites, and you know, there are some artists in the city who are so vibrant and so colourful that, you know, they'd have no trouble whatsoever in scaling up to that size. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
If you could do a mural of a mural, is that right? Mural.
Yes.
If you could do a mural of anybody in the world, anybody from any walks, like whatever, who would you love to do a mural of? Doesn't have to be Wrexham based. It can be anything.
That's really interesting. And you know, you when you say mural or murial, the amount of people who call it a mural, I think it's probably about 60-40 in favour of mural anyway. So don't worry about that. But yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. I mean, it'd probably end up being Wales related or football related. Anyway, I'm a proud Welshman. You know, if someone like David Iwan, like that would be like amazing. But like I said, it'd probably be something Wrexham related anyway. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. There's a couple on my list that, if the opportunities come up, they'll be done, like hands down. So obviously, you know, the likes of like Mickey Thomas and Joey, obviously. So it'd probably be one of them. I've not really thought about that. It's a good question, actually.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Because I always thought we walk, so we park in town for games, and we walk up to the racecourse, don't we? And I always thought like the side of the art college was a very good place to have one. I'm not going to push on where you're going to be painting, because I know you want to keep that to yourself for now. I always thought that was a really good location, though, because obviously the amount of people that walk up to the ground from there, the fact that it is an art college as well, seems to sort of fit really well, I thought.
Yeah, no, there's loads of places where I would just love to see something. But do you know what I would really love to see? Like the Wrexham players through the years. So you mentioned Mickey Thomas before. So, you know, like I know obviously you've already done Paul Mullen, but, you know, like Mickey Thomas.
Aaron Griffiths going right back and then working through. That would be good. Where you've got we're going off on a tangent now. And it's like
the revolution of Wrexham players.
Yeah, but like I tell you, it'd be really nice. But there's something already there. I won't get into this now. Where you've got Wrexham is the name. Like, you know, not that I'm trying to get you to paint over what you've already done, but if you were to have like 100 years evolution of players along there,
yeah, that's a great shout.
Yeah,
that's a great.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I think on the you know what you were saying about the art college, that is prime location for a mural. The wall is it's beautiful. It'd be perfect. Unfortunately, I've been told by someone that it's a listed building.
Oh.
I think that kind of puts a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a shame.
That is a shame.
But you never know. I mean, because to be honest, like the wall itself has been painted. You know, it's been painted white, I think. So whether that kind of gives you a little bit of leeway, you can always, like, it's not as if I'd be painting on, or someone would be on bare brick that you'll never get back once you painted on it. You can just paint over it in the same colour it is now. So yeah, I don't know, be interesting.
There's got to be something that, you know, there's got to be some ribbons or whatever we can cut. Red tape is what I was thinking.
Ribbons.
Red tape that they can be.
Yes, start a campaign.
Yeah, we should.
Just to talk about the football a little bit, Liam. You know, we've had guests on today, and we've obviously talked about you know, next season going into League One and what everyone sort of thinks. What are your thoughts on next season? It's been such a quick evolution for us from sitting almost rotting in the National League for 15 years. And then before we know it, it's like jump League Two, jump, and now we're jumping up to League One. What do you foresee for next season? What do you think? The question I asked Mark Griffiths, and I think it's the best way to put it, is what constitutes a successful season for us next year in your mind?
Yeah, I have kind of thought about this a lot, and the kind of pragmatist, I don't know if that's the right word, but the pragmatist in me is kind of thinking, you know, if we just go down the whole consolidation route and, you know, finish top 10, I know probably a lot of fans will be like, no, that's not good enough, we need to go up again, or which would be fine. It's just, I think the part of me is worried that, you know, you go up too quick. You know, we haven't got the facilities in place and the infrastructure in place to kind of satisfy the sorry window then. Yeah, kind of facilitate like the stuff, like, you know, the increase in wages between League One and Championship is like astronomical. You know, so that would scare me a little bit, I think, obviously with the history that we've had, you know, stuff that you've seen happen to other clubs who've maybe risen too fast, you know, you know, because if we're going up to you know, Championship and the cop's not been built, you know, and we're still, you know, I'm a bit worried about it, let's put it that way. But you know, on the other hand, most people bite your hand off if you're offering promotion again. So yeah, I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
It's strange because I sort of go back into a little bit with it, because your points are all very valid. We don't have a training ground. We don't have a cop. You know, so like you're talking about, the infrastructure perhaps isn't quite there. And, you know, sometimes the training ground aspect of it is something that can scupper deals for players that are used to a certain level, you know, within clubs in the Championship, or perhaps have come from the Premier League. Having said that, we have drawn players in like Stephen Fletcher, like, you know, James McLean, and that it wasn't something that really put them off very much, that we, you know, we don't have these things in place.
Maybe they were just happy for a job.
maybe that was more of an age thing, and they thought, let's just take this. Yeah. But yeah, so there's that aspect of it, and, you know, like you very rightly say, we have, you know, because of the past that we've had, and, you know, what happened to us, you know, 10, 12 years ago, I think you always err on the side of caution a little bit. You don't want to go rushing through the leagues and have this huge crash where, you know, perhaps you end up tumbling down. You know, we've seen loads of clubs who go up 2 leagues and then before you know it are dropping down 2 leagues. You know, if we go back 2 seasons, we were in the National League and Forest Green were in League One. Literally 2 seasons later, we've completely swapped, you know, so it happens. So I just realising now I completely have not answered the question, but I think for me, I'm one of these fans who will go, I'm happy with whatever happens. But like we've said earlier in this show, start stringing 2, 3, 4 wins or 5 or 6 unbeaten games in a row, and you can't help but talk about promotion again. And then anything from that point onwards that isn't promotion or isn't playoffs is maybe a bit of a disappointment. So,
yeah.
For me, I'm quite not. I think I've been, because I've not been a fan for. I mean, obviously, I've known of Wrexham for years and years and years, but I've only started going to see them in the last 3 years, and I think I've been a little bit spoilt because obviously the first season I went to, we obviously didn't promote. We stayed down in the National League, but then obviously the season before, we came up to League Two, and now we're going up to League One. Yeah. It's like the spoiled child in me is like, right, you know, I want to go up to Championship, but I kind of know now that, like you said, there are certain things that aren't in place, and I think, I mean, we haven't even released any new signings for League One yet, and we're like, how many fixtures are out in
I
3
know,
weeks,
but we're
4 weeks.
we're biding our time. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's fine. I mean, we're not Rotherham, who've signed about 10 players already. Do you know what I mean? So it's don't panic. We're
there
all
has
right.
been a rumour, and I'd like to get your opinion on this. There's been a rumour that Billy Sharp of Sheffield United fame, you know, the guy that we all love.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a rumour going around that Wrexham are looking at signing him.
Oh, what do you think of that?
Well, I mean, I've heard that months ago. So is it on the rounds again?
I think it's doing the rounds again.
It's doing the rounds again, yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No, I can't see it. Parky had who had the little tussle with him?
Everyone.
Yeah, I don't think he would fit into the team.
Look, we just don't want him.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not going to. Yeah, we don't want him. Don't like him.
Don't. Liam, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Before you go, tell everyone where they can find you, both physically and digitally. How can you be found?
Nice one. Yeah, I can be found physically in T-Pow. There's like a cool shepherd's hut caravan in the food court. So I'm usually there throughout the week, Monday to Saturday. And then online, like if you just search Pencil Craftsman on all the major social media accounts, platforms, you'll find me there. So.
For anybody who wants to look a little bit closer, if you haven't already seen Liam's work, or you want to, if you're watching us on YouTube, there will be a link to Liam's website and his socials down below. So please check them out.
Definitely.
100%. Liam, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right. Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. Sorry, my head rebooted then for a second. Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. So it's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 Zoom calls a week. One on Monday at 8 p.m, which is for women, and one at 7 p.m. on a Thursday, and that is for men. The best thing for you to do is to follow DragonChat-Steve Lloyd on Twitter to find out a little bit more about that.
Just quickly before we move on, Steve actually, we put a post up to obviously say about the 100th episode, and Steve put on there that because of our podcast,
yes,
they have had a couple of people join Dragon Chat.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
So it's amazing that, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, if one person, because of this show, reaches out and goes to something like that, I think it's...
And he just said thank you for our support, but we will continue to support Dragon Chat because mental health is a very important subject.
Yeah,
100%.
We will do that. Right. It is quiz time.
I can't say that I'm very excited about this.
Look, it's a special 100th episode quiz.
Please don't say there's 100 questions.
There is not, but there is 10. Okay. So, I delved around. I didn't know what to do, so I've done a few different things. Question 1. Okay.
Yes.
So question 1 is a question that you've been asked before. Okay. It is the first question I ever asked you in a quiz, and that was back in episode 1. Okay. So I'm going to re-ask you again. Okay, because you didn't quite get it right the first time. So 99 episodes later, I am going to ask you the first question that I ever asked you in a quiz. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I am going to sing part of a Wrexham song. Now, what you have to do is you have to do 2 things. You have to do an action, and then you have to sing the next line of the song. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to sing a line, you do an action, and then you sing the next line of the song.
Right.
Okay? All right. You ready?
No.
Sure?
Yeah.
Fill us in devotion.
Rise into promotion.
Well done. Yes. Yes. I'm not sure about the level. I wanted some more passion.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
I've got to give you, that 100%. You got that wrong first time. But I'm so happy 99 episodes later, you now know it. Yes.
Whoop,
whoop. So that's one. Number 2. Which of the following is the name of one of our episodes? Okay. Number 1, deserved something, got nothing. Number 2, Super JJ saves the day. Or number 3, my heart can't take this anymore.
Super JJ.
Super JJ saves the day?
No, it's wrong.
It is wrong. It's my heart can't take this anymore. So deserved something, got nothing was actually deserved nothing, got nothing. Super JJ saves the day was actually Super Sammy D saves the day. So you get a feeling for there is another one of them further down. So I think you get a feeling that they're not completely different, but they are different in some way. So just bear that in mind next time you're going to answer.
Is this like impossible?
Yeah. So it's our 100th episode. But Paul Mullin also reached a 100-goal milestone this last season. But who did he score his 100th goal against? Oh, such a historic event in Wrexham's history, I'm sure you...
Forest Green Rovers.
Forest Green Rovers?
Notts County.
No, it's not Notts
I don't
County.
know. Forest Green.
Would you like a clue?
Yes.
Max Cleworth also scored in that game. Does that make it worse?
It doesn't help.
Okay.
Oh crap. Forest Green. I can't remember.
No, I'd already said no. It wasn't Forest Green.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'll take it away then. Crawley.
Crawley. It wasn't. It was Colchester United. Unfortunately. So Paul Mullin is also one of 4 players in the current squad to have played over 100 games. Can you name one of the others?
Elliot Lee.
It is Elliot Lee with 105. Do you want to have a crack at the other 2? You're not getting any points, but I'll just to show flex a bit. No. Okay, Ollie Palmer, 124. James Jones, 132. And Paul Mullin's the most on 140. Just as a quick side note, Max is on 99.
Hey!
So there you
next
go.
game he plays?
Yeah.
Ah.
If he ever plays for us again, might get sold. But no, I'm joking.
No, he won't.
Number 5.
Yes.
2 lies, 1 truth. Middle names. Okay. So George Evans' middle name is Colin. Luke Bolton's middle name is Jeffrey. Or Stephen Fletcher's middle name is Kenneth.
I'm going to go with Stephen Fletcher because Kenneth's quite a Scottish name.
Stephen Kenneth Fletcher, that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
You'd be correct.
Yes.
Well done. Number 6. We've done some great interviews over 100 episodes.
Great.
One of my personal favourites was ex-Wrexham player Neil Roberts. Within 10, what number episode was the Neil Roberts interview? Within 10, I'm not asking.
36.
36, no, you've gone way too early. Way too early. It was episode 68. Neil Roberts interview. Unlucky. Which one of the following is the name of one of our episodes? Is it Welcome to Wrexham? Is it Screaming Like a Banshee? Or is it We Are Going Up?
We Are Going Up.
We Are Going Up? No.
Welcome to Wrexham.
It was Welcome to Wrexham, yes. Screaming Like a Banshee was actually Screaming Like a 5-year-old girl. And We Are Going Up was actually Towns Going Up, ole ole, or We Are the Champions. We never did We Are Going Up. Number 8, Phil Parkinson celebrated 150 games in charge of Wrexham this season in the game against Notts County. He currently sits on 165 games. But how many of them 165 games has he won? Is it 93, 103, 113, or 123?
123.
103, sorry.
Oh, 20 off.
Number 9. In which one of these countries has our podcast been listened to the most? Switzerland, Romania, or Brazil?
Romania.
You've gone for the most random, haven't you? Wrong. It's Brazil.
Oh, I was going to say Brazil, but...
No, you weren't, because you were literally going to... When I said it was wrong, you were about to say Switzerland. So it was literally your third choice, so don't lie to me. Final question.
Okay.
This podcast is very popular in America.
Yes.
But which American city has the most podcast downloads? Is it Dallas, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, or Denver, Colorado?
Dallas, Texas.
Incorrect. Chicago, Illinois. It's actually really high on the list, Chicago, Illinois.
It's really great.
Did you look at your watch then?
Yeah.
You literally went, when is this over? No, look, you've done, what can I say? Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad in that one. You didn't get, so you got 1, 2, 3.
I'm not listening to you now.
Yeah.
I did terrible.
3 out of 10.
Okay.
30%.
Great.
If our son come home and he's got 30% in the test, you wouldn't be happy, would you?
No.
No, so just think how you're letting down everyone on this 100th episode.
I'm sorry.
Yes. I tell you what I didn't mention. With the shirt that I'm wearing today.
Oh, yeah.
I put on a special shirt for a special episode.
I broke the rule as well.
What rule?
No shirts during off-season.
You did. Yeah, you broke that rule.
I
But
did.
now I've gone for for anyone who doesn't know, it's the 150th anniversary shirt. And it obviously came out in 2014. I just felt like today deserved a special shirt. So I've gone for a special shirt today.
Dennis.
Look, I've enjoyed this episode.
Well, I've got a little something to do before we go.
Oh, okay. What?
I've done a little quiz.
Oh, God. Okay.
See, Ryan actually didn't know about this. I was doing this last night.
That's going to be horrendous, this is.
It's not that bad. There's only a couple of questions. There's not loads because my brain just got fried.
Okay. All right. Okay. Go on.
So let's start. Okay. Who was named Wrexham's Player of the Year during the 21-22 season?
Paul Mullin.
Yes. How many goals did he score in total during the 21-22 season?
Have I got options there?
Yes, you do. You had options for the people, but I just...
I know he's won it 3 times in a row.
15, 27, 26 or 11.
Sorry, say that again.
15.
League goals this must be, I'm guessing, because he scored 45.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, league goals. Oh, are we in another Siân quiz?
No, I think I think it is league goals.
League goals, okay.
15, 27, 26, 11.
Oh, there's 2 that are so close together. Look, I'm dismissing 15. I'm dismissing 11. Okay, so 26 or 27. That's disgusting. That is 27.
26.
Was it? Yes. That's not. That's a bit unfair. That
it's
one.
not though, is it?
Yeah.
Which team did Wrexham play their their first ever game against in 1864? Was it Liverpool, the Prince of Wales Fire Brigade, Blythe Spartans, or Barcelona?
It was the Fire Brigade.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
Hopefully you get this wrong. They're very much 21-22 heavy.
Okay, that's fine. That one wasn't.
No, that was 1864 heavy.
That was 160 years ago.
Okay, who opened the scoring for Wrexham in our first away win of 2021 against Kings Lynn Town at the end of January? It was his first goal for the club.
Whoa, right, sorry. Just go for that again.
Right, who opened the scoring for Wrexham?
Yeah.
In our first away win of 2021.
Yeah.
And we played Kings Lynn Town.
In the 21-22 season.
Yeah, at the end of January, so it would have been 22.
Yeah.
It was his first goal for the club.
Sorry, you've confused me with the question. You said it was our first away
win
of the season
of 2021. Oh, so it would have been
first away win of 2022 is what you mean. Yeah, because you said it's in January, so that would indicate we'd gone all the way from August through to January without winning an away game.
Yeah.
Now his first goal for the club, and it was in January.
Yeah.
So that would have been. So that I'm guessing that would have been a January signing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you like?
Now, I think in that game, did we win that 6-0 away?
I don't know.
because I want to say Jordan Ponticelli, okay, because I think he scored a hat-trick in that game. But I'm going to guess it's not him because there was a look in your eyes then. So somebody that has come to the club. I know it's not Elliot Lee. I know it's not Paul Mullin. I'm going to say Jordan Ponticelli.
Jamie Record.
Jamie Record. What a disgusting question that is.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I don't do quizzes, because I suck at them, basically. I suck at being told, getting to give the answers, and I suck at asking the questions. Aww. So, yeah.
You can't win, can you?
No.
Can't win. No, but Jamie Record. Yeah, I remember him. Wonder where he is now.
Record.
I know he went to Yeovil for a bit. Anyway, I think we're done, haven't we?
Yeah, I've got no more surprises.
Okay, all right. Look.
Have you got me a surprise?
I haven't got you a surprise. No, unfortunately, I should have really, shouldn't I? Some sort of gift. Can't
you can
really.
take me up the local shop and buy me something nice.
I'm going to say something else. Sorry. Right. Right. Yes. Okay. I'll take you to the local shop and I'll buy you something. Nice. Look, thank you so much. Not just for tuning in for this episode, but for tuning in for every episode of the last 100. We are so privileged to have each and every one of you listen to us. You know, whether you've listened to all 100 episodes, whether this is your first episode, it doesn't matter to us. New fans, old fans, they all matter just the same. So yeah, thank you. And here's to the next 100 episodes.
Yeah, before we go, just want to say a quick congratulations to Anthony Ford and his new wife who they got married, I think it was Thursday or Friday last week. So congratulations to them. And next week when our podcast is out, it's my birthday.
It is Siân's birthday next week. So if you
want
to get some birthday messages in for Siân, feel free to do that. But as always, we love you all and we will see you next week for episode 101. Bye.